The integrand here is a radical trigonometric function. The square root is the major obstacle. To get rid of that, we need to think about how to convert what underneath it into a perfect square. This thought points me to the double angle formula for cosine, where I can find the square of either sine or cosine in a term by itself. To get started, we need to view the cosine term underneath the square root as cosine of 2 times 2x. So now we have a double angle. Now, here's a quick aside, but you may also find it useful in many places else. For cosine of a double angle, there are multiple equivalent formulas, but I only memorize one form, which is the difference of two squares because it starts with cosine 2, and so the next square must be sine. Then we can get the exact formula you need by rewriting either square using the fundamental trigonometric identity. Now, how do we proceed? For this problem, we are looking for the expression 1 plus cosine 2a. So we should convert the square after the minus sign so that we can get a minus 1 on the right. Like so. Reshuffling terms, we have 1 plus cosine 2a equals 2 times the square of cosine a. To use it, we put a equals 2x. And now we can write 1 plus cosine 4x as 2 times the square of cosine 2x. So we've factored a constant out of the integral and gotten rid of the square root as we wanted. A quick reminder here. To evaluate the square root, in general, we need to take absolute value of what underneath the root. But here, we can figure out whether the thing underneath the root is indeed positive or negative, and so we don't have the absolute sign that holds us back. Why can we ascertain that? Well, we have a definite integral, so the integration limits tell us the range of x over which cosine 2x travels along. So we integrate from x equals pi over 4 to pi over 2. That means 2x is between pi over 2 and pi. Over such interval, cosine 2x is either 0 or negative. That means we should take the negative of the result of evaluating the square root, and so we have negative cosine 2x instead. That looks very good. Now we have something almost readily integrable. Let's do an informal change of variable to make it like integrating 1 with respect to the new variable. So we express dx as 1/2 of the differential of 2x. This is like letting u be 2x if you want to write down the change of variable things step by step. Then we can also get rid of the minus sign by swapping the integration limits. The derivative of sine 2x with respect to 2x is cosine 2x. So the whole thing under the integral sign is indeed purely the differential of sine 2x. Nice, this is immediately integrable. Of course, we have just sine 2x, evaluating at pi over 4, followed by pi over 2. We have 1 minus 0. So finally, the definite integral is root 2 over 2. All right, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one.